All right, so based on your idea of 10% and 90%, I have to challenge you a little bit. And we talked about the truth. Why do you not tell people about your steroid usage?
This is a great question, right? Yeah. Because of what it implies.
Okay.
Right. I think a better question really is, it's the same question, do you take things? Yeah. Right. But my answer has been the same because I've always told the truth. And you can say or think whatever you want.
Of course.
Right. But at the end of the day, like, this is what my message is really all about.
Yeah.
Is it's the 9 ancestral tenets. And did you know 50 years ago, we had on average 50% higher testosterone?
Yeah.
So if you just think about that, right, we could probably go 50 to 100% higher just by doing the 9 ancestral tenets. Isn't that what most people do with they try and do steroids to increase their testosterone by 50 to 100%?
For the most part.
Well, so I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but what I'll say is this: like, if somebody has, let's say, a 700, testosterone, free testosterone, and if they're taking steroids and they want to get up to 1400 or 1500 or whatever it is, yeah. Guess what? You can do the same thing with the 9 ancestral tenets. And if you do the 9 ancestral tenets and you're living this way over this amount of decades, you're going to be able to produce your highest and most dominant form. Have you seen my picture when I was 15?
I haven't, no.
God, I wish you had like a...
Can someone pull that up? Can someone pull that up?
If someone could pull it up. Because this is what they showed today. And yesterday we were on Fighter and the Kid. And you guys are good friends, right?
Yeah, I love them.
And Brennan goes, dude, look at you at 15. If people could see your picture at 15, most people will never have a chest like that doing steroids. Most people will never have abs like that doing steroids.
I mean, I listen, I know that I know this for a fact. Like, you don't just get on steroids and then you just like, that's it. I know that's not how this works, right?
Yeah.
Personally. But I guess I'm curious, like, you don't see why people think that?
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is what's interesting. In the fitness industry,
yeah,
people ask about this. And they normally asked about it last year. And then it turned into ab implants.
What? Yo, wait, what?
This is a real thing. People, this is how I said. Right.
Say, I didn't even know there was a thing like that.
I can relax I can do whatever I want with my abs. But like, normally if I'm sitting, you know what? My abs are going to always be a little bit flexed. I don't wear a shirt.
I didn't even know you can do ab implants.
Well, I didn't either. But then it became about ab etching, and then people started saying I had hair implants.
I'm trying to get some of those in Turkey, to be honest.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
You and Mike talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Mike's a great guy. And so this is it. Like, there's all these accusations, and Liver King never came on social media one day and said, hey, because of my physique, I want you to do what I do. Right? What I've done is I've said, we got a massive percent of the population that are hurting. 85% of people have self-esteem issues. 80% of the population struggles paycheck to paycheck because we try to express our worth and potential in the world with shit that we buy at the mall, with watches and shoes and cars.
Of course, frivolous
Look
shit.
at how valuable I am.
Yeah, shit that doesn't matter.
Instead of building that worth by going to the gym, reading a book, establishing connections. 70% of the world is obese. Half are obese.
Yeah.
I meant to say 70% are overweight, half are obese. 50% on prescription meds. 40% have or will get cancer. 20% can't have kids.
Well, the reason why people bring up the steroid thing is because it's almost like a discredit, right? They want to discredit someone else's work, in a sense. Even with or without, that's the thing though, that is like, it's not that simple. And it's I don't know, it's just a thing that people like to say, and I get it. And I think it comes back to the fact that people, like we said earlier, more people are hurting about where they're at in their own lives and looking out at someone else's, and they want to say, oh, you have this because of this and because of that and because of those things.
Yeah. Well, you hear this all the time, that hate always comes from below and hate always comes from within. Yeah. Right? When people really hate their lives, because most people do, they go to jobs that they hate, they come home to lives they don't love, they sedate themselves with enough bullshit, right? And so they hate themselves so much that they project that hate above them, right? And so this is a common thing. It's a really small vocal minority that creates whatever accusation, and there's a new accusation, and I guarantee you there's a new one tomorrow, right? And I made this one up. I told the guys, I think it was part of my take. I said I had gene editing done because they told me about all these accusations, and we all started laughing. And I'm like, listen, all these accusations are all bullshit. The only thing that's true is I had my gene editing done in Singapore, 2018. It's like, if you're gonna give me all these ridiculous accusations, I'm gonna have some ridiculous fucking fun with it, right? And I keep going off the deep end with this. So just today or yesterday, I told these guys that there's a pre-World War II device that I had from Russia. It's muscle shock, whatever. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna have fun with this stuff. But at the end of the day, I've been working out since I was 7 or 8 years old. I've been working out and then if you look at what I looked like and what I weighed in college, I've gained 20 pounds in the last 25 years. Working out twice a day, doing these 9 ancestral tenets. But at the end of the day, this was never my message, right? My message is we have 4,000 people a day that try to kill themselves. 4,000 people a day that try to fucking kill themselves. And the craziest thing is you have 3.5 times that amount, a 3 times multiplier, a disproportionate amount are men. But the most fucked up thing is you got a 20x multiplier on suicidal attempts. So now you're talking about something crazy like 40 to 50,000 people a day have no hope in their lives. They hate their lives that much. No light at the end of the tunnel. This is my message. So I'm good if we want to talk about PEDs and accusations as a side dish. But what I always say to people is, hey, man, let's talk about this, because I think it's a dangerous thing when people start saying, this is what he's doing. I'm like, hey, let's have a conversation about it. Because if we talk about the 9 ancestral tenets, the first one being sleep, right? If you don't sleep well for 3 days, what happens to your testosterone and your neurochemistry?
Can lower.
It fucking plummets. Yeah. What if I told you that most people are sleeping on 50 to 60% of their sleep potential?
I mean, I already know that to be true, yeah.
So then you look at the next ancestral tenet, which is eat. You don't eat like, if you eat like shit, your testosterone neurochemistry are going to be fucked up. Yeah. If you move like shit, it's the same thing. If you shield like, it's all 9 ancestral tenets. If you do these things, right? I never said, hey, one day you're going to look like Liver King. What I say is one day you're going to look and express at your highest and most dominant form. Yeah. And again, the most important thing is you look at the amount of people that are attempting suicide. You look at the amount of people that actually hate their lives. The 15-year-olds that write in that tell me the same story. And I'm like, you know what? I know exactly how you feel, because that's the way I felt for 5 years. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this message out. I'm going to knock on everybody's door. Please have me on a podcast. I don't care if it's a subprimal audience. Everybody needs to hear this message.
So funny to me.